Apparently, one of the many ways social media has changed people's lives is the way people ask each other out. Apparently, getting somebody's phone number is over because people ask for social media info instead. A guy interviewed in the New York Post claims the phone call is more intimate than friending somebody on Facebook. What do you think?
Oh, we have young people in the audience going,
Nobody makes phone calls. You get the number to text them, duh. I don't call people.
See, there's a problem when you start digging into social media. And Joy, and we were talking about this earlier. Yeah. You learn too much about someone, and it's an early turnoff. You got to give them a chance to get that vibe with you before I think you dig in so much. Because I have friends that are dating online. They get like a dossier on people, and they immediately decide that person's not for me.
And sometimes it's wrong. Remember that the social media, representation that people put out there sometimes isn't really an accurate representation of who they are. So sometimes you're getting this whole, you feel like you're building a sense of that person when you haven't had a phone conversation with them, you haven't met them in person, and there's no sense of who that person really is. And you've written them off maybe, based on what?
Yeah. Well, I have a girlfriend. She's on Match.com and
that's
Christian Mingles. J-Date.
It's just one mingle.
eHarmony.
Mingle.
I don't want to say she's desperate, but she's looking. And so she now has the ability, oh, he looks cute, and now she can look him up on Wikipedia, she can look him up here, she can get his tax return. The only person in America who can't get his tax returns from is what's his name? But anyway, it's like too much information. I think it's true.
It's a lot.
Well, I remember when
you could miss out on a really great guy because like 20 years ago he was a pig farmer or something, and you don't like that. Yeah. And you might miss out on a guy who could be a great father.
But in some ways, social media is more personal because I was talking to some of the younger people, and they were saying if someone friended them, reached out, liked something, or they would actually be like, okay, settle down. Because the phone number is not as personal, whereas these other places are more representative of what you're putting out there, whether it's family, friends, video clips, day-to-day.
But you're taking into account, as Jed pointed out, that most people have an idealized life that they put up, and so I'm a firm believer. I need to see you. I need to smell you. I need to know. I will because that's part of what you learn about somebody. Because you can't, even if you get a profile, you can't speed up the process of getting to know somebody.
No, that's true.
You have to do it, and you have to do it in person. You can't unless you're not really looking to hook up.
Yeah.
But the reality is you can't rush that. You have to take the time. I like going into a bar because I want to see how people comport themselves. I want to see how, are you somebody I should be out with? Because maybe you're just like, you look good, but you're a butthead.
Yeah. What about, and you can tell that in a restaurant. I went out with a guy once. And
Only once?
Just not the guy I married, but I remember we went out to a restaurant, and what was interesting to me was the way he treated the people that were waiting on us. And he looked great on paper. He was a lawyer. He came from a great family. I thought we had so much in common. And the way he treated our waiter, it was over for me. I actually did not eat.
I had a guy that I think he was trying to impress me, and we were seated somewhere near the kitchen, and I was just excited we had a table because I was hungry. And he said something to the waitress, and then he's like, yeah, I don't hear well. And I thought, oh, okay, because it was the first date. I didn't know him. We get placed at this thing, and I was like, oh, so is this better? And he's like, yeah, I was just letting her know because I wanted that. And I was like, he wanted a different table, and he was kind of lying. And I thought, ew, like now I'm judging you. Like,
and see, that stuff you will only know in person. And you can't, you waste a lot of time talking to somebody on on your computer, and then you get there with them, and they're like, oh, hell no.
And they do lie. My mom dates on some of these websites, and someone told her he was like 20 years younger than he was. I couldn't believe it. And the pictures never looked the same.
Well, didn't you meet your husband online?
Yeah, and one thing I will say to what you said, Whoopi, about people don't put their real lives online, but if you piece that together, you can often see where that person is under all those images. Because if you look at certain people...
That's a lot of work, baby. Go to the bar.
No, it jumps out at you. I prefer the bar.
But when you lie about your age?
No. Because to me, I wanted to set the expectations low. I don't want him coming expecting me to be super cool.
anger.
So I put all these things that were very truthful on there because I didn't want to let him down when he met me. I'd rather have him be blown away because I really set the bar down here.
Yeah, right.
So I said things who I was. Age, weight, all those things are going to be seen very quickly when you meet them.
You just